Have you heard about the concept of intuitive eating? Today, we're talking about that. Welcome to my channel, people of the internet. If you have discovered me because of the topic of this video, welcome. If you're not new, if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. My name is Susie and this is Iron Things. In this channel we talk about a lot of things that matter to us recreational runners. So just a little bit about myself. I am a 48-year-old woman who just ran New York City Marathon on November 7th and who is training for the Walt Disney World Marathon on January 9th. So yes, you got that right, 2 months in between one and the other. But whereas I ran New York City Marathon for time and I PR'd, the Walt Disney World Marathon I'm just gonna do for fun, and I am actually pacing a friend and totally pumped about the idea. It's always a fun idea, I think, to running in a costume. So today we are going to talk about intuitive eating. A while back I did a video about my fitness app and how I was using it to track my calories and how I was making sure that I was eating the right amount of calories. But I actually ditched my fitness pal a while back and I just reverted to eating when I'm hungry and stopping when I'm full, which is what intuitive eating is all about. But let's chat a little bit more about that as we go out for this easy run. Okay, so first of all, what is intuitive eating in general for the general population? I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, but intuitive eating is a term that was coined by two nutritionists. They wrote a book literally called Intuitive Eating. I'll link it below in case you want to check it out and get more information about it. But basically, what they were big proponents of is just to eat when you had hunger cues, whenever that was. So, for example, with intuitive eating, what you would do is if you wake up in the morning and you're hungry, you would have breakfast. If you don't wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, for whatever the reason, then you don't have breakfast. Now, of course, for us runners, that brings a whole other array of consequences. Because if you wake up on the day of a long run and you know you need to fuel, or race for that matter, you know you need to fuel, but you can't, then can you really do intuitive eating? For me, what I have been doing recently, and it has been working for me, so spoiler alert, I feel a lot better. I used to track everything on my fitness app for a long time. I want to say maybe 2 years. Not every day, but pretty much every day. And what would happen is that I would try and match the amount of calories that my Fitbit said I would need to the calories that I was ingesting with my food. Now, of course, there are a lot of limitations to this method. Number one, I don't know that fitness trackers can really track well the amount of calories that you have consumed in a day. They don't know that much. I mean, they know the information you give them, but I mean, it is possible that someone with my same body composition, same height, same weight, just has a faster metabolism. That happens. So even if there's a difference of maybe that other person burning 100 more calories than me in a given day, well, there you go. If you add that up over the course of like 6 months, that could result in them losing weight and me staying on weight. So yeah, there are a lot of limitations. Also, guys, I do this because I love you very much, but it's cold, and talking as I'm running and trying to keep my thoughts cohesive, it's kind of a challenge. Anyway, the issue with any calorie tracking app is that if you have a workout that consumes more calories, such as a long run, and you have it later in the day, it's going to up your caloric need on that given day and skyrocket it. So, and then what are you gonna do? Have a dinner that's 2,000 calories? I don't think so. You might not even feel like having that much food, and then you might wake up the following day feeling ravenous, which is probably what's gonna happen. So, that being said, I find intuitive eating the perfect way to just basically go about my life. With this method, really you're just eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. So it requires going back to really your body's needs, which is not easy for some of us, especially now throughout the holidays. I think it's just hard to stop when you're full. For example, if you have to go to a party or cook for people who are coming to your house, you have to test the food and all that. So I'm not saying it's easy, but with that comes mastering something requires attempting to get it right. So also culturally, I think in the United States, because I'm not saying this is unique to the United States, much of the Western world, we give a preference to efficiency. So our lunches, if you have a paid gig, because we all work one way or another, but if you have a paid gig, you have to perform. They probably measure you on your output. So you probably have to cut your lunches very short. And let's face it, even if you feel like eating a salad, putting the salad together. Even if you feel like eating one, it's probably not gonna happen. You're gonna have a cereal bar. So yeah, I think with intuitive eating, you also have to think and pause about what you're putting in your body, even though that may seem contradictory, just because eating a cereal bar and just having a quick fix, it's not intuitive at all. What's intuitive is fruits and vegetables, good lean protein, grains, things that make your body feel good. I know there's people who do restrictive elimination diets, which is fine if your doctor, your nutritionist or dietitian, if they've told you to do that, or if you've you have been diagnosed with some sort of allergy or intolerance, by all means, yes. But if you haven't, just eat what makes you feel good. And by feeling good, I mean foods literally don't make you feel like crap. Like, to me, there's nothing more satisfactory, honestly, than eating potato chips. I don't know why that is. I think it's because in my house when I was growing up they were never around. There's nothing better for me. I just find them super comforting. Obviously they're crap. You should not eat them. And if you eat them, they should not be like a staple on your diet. So when I eat chips, I feel really good in the moment. And then if I think about it, I just don't feel like I perform well the following day. So yeah, I just eat chips very sparingly on, I don't know, once a month or something like that. So there you go. That's intuitive eating for me. I think with intuitive eating, the key is not to overthink it too much. Okay? I think it's just tuning in with your body, and I don't think there's a need to really journal about it or just say, this food makes me feel this way, this food makes me feel that way. I don't think you need to put pen to paper to describe how certain foods make you feel, unless again you have talked to a healthcare professional, a mental health professional who's told you to do that. If they have, then follow I'm just talking about my personal experience. I just try to identify what makes me feel good. So that being said, there are foods that are quote unquote forbidden for people that make me feel really well, really good. So for example, pizza is one of them. I have a couple slices of pizza, just basic cheese pizza. I don't like the other ones. I feel so good, honestly. I have actually PR'd the following day on a race and had pizza the night before. So there you go. I am not going to restrict pizza. I probably eat pizza once a week, once every other week. Yeah. Pasta makes me feel so good. Tomato sauce, not so much. It irritates my stomach. So I don't have it with tomato sauce. I have it with typically pesto. That's what makes me feel better. But you have to do you and see what works for you. What makes you feel good. What makes you feel happy. So, and again, this is not what makes you feel happy in the moment. It's what makes you feel happy later. Because if you eat a piece of cake that's way too big for you and for your body, you're gonna maybe feel really well right now, but are you gonna feel really well tomorrow? I don't know. That's up to you. And obviously there's a difference between a homemade cake, something that you control the ingredients, and something you buy commercially prepared. Completely different. What I'm trying to say is that since I ditched my fitness pal, I started eating just things that make me feel good and help me perform better and just feel better in general. Number one, my belly has been super happy, like happy. That's number one. Number two is a consequence of that, because my gut is healthier. I actually are less bloated. I don't feel as heavy going into a run, for example. And I don't know that it translates so much into weighing less. I don't know that because I hardly ever weigh myself. I have to go to the doctor. When I go to the doctor, they weigh me. That's when they weigh me. Honestly, it's something that does not really concern me. Eat the food that makes you happy in the quantities that make you happy. That usually means in moderation. Test out portions. See what makes you feel just full and nourished, but not too full. Trust your appetite. Don't be too restrictive about what you eat. And at the same time, don't overindulge too much, because chances are the amount of food you're eating is probably not the right amount of food you need to eat. So it's kind of an art to get it right. But how do you know when you will get it right? Well, you will know because over time you feel good. It's gonna take a little bit of tweaking and understanding your body's needs, but I am a huge proponent of intuitive eating. I think it's the way that our bodies are supposed to work. If you think about it, what would people do when there was not a knowledge about caloric deficit and caloric intake and any of that? People were healthy or not healthy, right? People would feel good or not good. So that's how they would do things. So I think we have to ditch technology and just tune into our own bodies and do what's right for us. Obviously, this is for us recreational runners. There is a need for professional athletes to really control everything they put in their bodies. They're a whole different species, guys. They're not us. They're humans, yes, but they're different to us. So if you're thinking about following this train of thought into eating, leave a comment below. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, run fearless.